Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Taurus for the month of June 2024. And, oh, okay. While I'm shuffling the cards, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also like and share the video if it resonates with you. The cards are really strange in this reading. Very different feeling. Let's see. What do you have for Taurus for this month of June 2024? Okay, solace, illness and wellness. Okay. The Four of Cups. The Star. It's interesting because the Star has some similarities in composition. Knight of Pentacles. Three of Wands. The Hermit. Page of Cups. And the Eight of Pentacles. Wow, a lot of cards. Very different from the other readings. Okay, so I will put this card like this because I need some space. I feel like it has to be like this. Interesting, right? The Emperor. The Ten of Pentacles. The Hangman. The Four of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel and the Chariot. Wow, a lot of major arcana here. So let me see where I can put this last cards. Okay. Fields, collective service, harvest and equanimity. And revisions, learning in silence, studying, reason and discernment. Interesting. Okay, so this month I am diving a little bit deeper into the mythology of each one of these two decks. This is the Greek mythology, the Western tradition, and this is Indian mythology, Eastern tradition. So let me just meditate for a little bit on your cards and study the myths behind each one of these cards, and we'll start with the reading. Okay, so let's start. I'm sorry if there's any noise, any background noise, because I have some construction going on for many months in the building, and yeah, there you go. Sometimes they're at it, so I hope it's not too disruptive, but I'll just try and go on with the reading. So, Sulis is a goddess of the British Isles, and she is a sun goddess. Sul is sun in Gaelic, Celtic Gaelic, and with the star here represented by Pandora opening the Pandora's box, it's an action that unleashes a lot of terrors and horrors into the world, and she does that out of just ignorance, just being foolish and not really knowing what she's doing, but she just has this hope that things can get better, and she's looking towards the light, right? She's not being like horrified, or she's not scared. She's still looking at the light. So looking at the light, And also considering that in the Four of Cups we have the myth of Psyche and Eros, and Psyche is here talking, her sisters are talking to her, and they're kind of like gossiping and maybe putting down her love for and her relationship. And she is there's a ritual where Eros visits her, sorry, at night, but she's still not happy because it's not the whole, the fulfillment of their relationship. So I feel like there's some sort of disappointment, and I think you have been like keeping your faith up. There's a story here of really persevering through trying times and being hopeful, seeing some results of your work, because here we have the Three of Wands with I'm sorry, this is Jason. I think, let me just check and confirm. Yeah, so this is Jason, and he's being offered a crown. He has arrived at the place of his inheritance, and he hasn't met much resistance. And he already has achieved something, and he's the one. This Peleus, this character here, is the one that tells Jason about the golden fleece, and now he has an objective, right? To collect that golden fleece. So I think that although you have seen some results in whatever is that challenge that you're facing, there's still more to come. There's patience. You have to be patient. You have to kind of wait for something to be fruitful yet. Although you have already seen, how good things can be, there's still work to be done. And I think that comes, this whole situation is about dealing with someone who is maybe immature, because we have the Page of Cups here, and the Page of Cups, it's depicting Narcissus, and he's of course the one who fell in love with his own reflection. But the curse of Narcissus, and the thing that more impacts me the most about the myth of Narcissus, is the fact that he really never got to know himself. He just fell in love with his appearance, and it was so strong that it kept people and himself from knowing who he really was. And it's also interesting to note that sometimes having early results, having like a very good feedback in the very beginning of whatever you're doing, can also be a little bit unmotivating to keep going at it, because maybe there's this temptation to just be at surface level. I don't know if I'm talking specifically about you, or if this is someone who is around you, or if this is something that you have to integrate in yourself. I'm still not sure. It's very general. The energy is very general. But there's the need for patience with the Hermit here. Kronos, represented by Kronos. He is Father Time. He's Saturn, right? He inspires you to go inside yourself, to explore inside yourself, to know more about who you are, or to know more about a certain person in your life, to go beyond the appearances. Yeah, and to be patient and diligent, because also here with the Eight of Pentacles, this is represented by Daedalus, and he's hard at work. He has chosen this path, right? He's a craftsman, and you are now in this role of being the apprentice of something, and it requires a lot of patience and maybe more time than you expected. um, but I think that also the underlying here is that if you plant the seeds, if you are very consistent and diligent, it will come naturally. And I think that's also a very nice quality of Taurus. I think Taurus is, it's something natural. It usually comes natural to Taurus people. And there's this quality of patience, you know, of diligence, of not being, there's this humble connection to the smallest details, to the smallest creature, which is also represented here by the Knight of Pentacles. This is a man who is very much connected with the ways of the earth, with the natural life, with the flora and fauna, understands that the smallest life form can have an impact, a major impact in your life. Interesting. Maybe this is what this reading is also about, is about focusing on the small details and going beyond the appearances so that you can develop your skills with time and investment, and keeping hope. Always eyes on the prize, right? Eyes on the light. And I feel like there's also something here about nighttime, like having some sort of, there's something happening at night, like on a regular schedule, on a regular basis, that might be a little bit disturbing. And maybe the advice here is to live more in the daytime, or to look towards the sun, not look towards the sun like be blinded by the sun. Of course, this is not a health advice. There are people who have methods for that. I have no knowledge of that, so just don't interpret that, you know, literally. But I think that in metaphorically speaking, there's something about it, this advice to do something more during the day and not so much during the night. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to dive into this second part of the reading. It's also interesting that you have 6 cards from one deck. No, 7. Okay. Oh, again with the 7 and the 6. Interesting. We had that before in the reading, Aries reading. So actually, this might be talking to you about July. And this might be the end of June. This part, the second part that I'm reading now, that I'm starting now. So let me just dive a little bit deeper into the myths in these cards here. Okay, so what is interesting is that while I was doing the Aries reading, I felt like the energies were very much feminine. And in this reading, it's interesting that I feel like they're more masculine. And starting with the Emperor here, we have Brahma, and he's of course the god of creation. And to me, this is talking about taking responsibility, whatever the task, whatever you need to do to achieve the objectives. And this is also confirmed here with the Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, of course. No matter how humble, no matter how small, whatever you have to do, take responsibility for the greater good, for others, and for yourself, of course, but thinking of more like a kingdom. And yeah, so after that, we have here the 10 of Discs with Nirvana. And I feel like this is something to do with family. And why do I think this? It's because this is Buddha's legacy. This is talking to us about Buddha's legacy. So this is his departure from the physical body. And this card talks a lot about what he said when he was departing, that he didn't want people to come and see him. He wanted people to try to go towards the path of enlightenment, just as he taught, and not try to just, be with him. It's not going to be enough for you to achieve enlightenment, to your own path of salvation. This is something that each person has to work out on their own. And decay is something that is, and the disappearance of our physical body is something that is inherent to this life. But to me, this is talking about whatever you're working on. It's something that you want to leave after you. I think you're focusing a lot on the further away into the future. This is also quite confirmed here with the star and Sulis, and I think this is the right way to go. What I think is going to happen this month for you, in June, is that you will find a way to do things more quickly. Maybe you will kind of be jolted into action, because with the Hanging Man here and the Four of Cups here, we have this kind of it's not exactly stagnant, but it's more of a reflective, meditative state. Like you're studying, you're kind of discerning, you're watching in the distance. And because here we have the Hanging Man is represented by Trishanku, and he was a king that wanted to ascend to heaven and keep his mortal body. But as we have here the Ten of Pentacles here, confirming that we can't do that, right? That's not how it goes. But his ambition was what made him go through the trials and tribulations that sublimated his body and finally got him to heaven, into heaven. So keeping his desire alive and keeping his strength and focus was what in the end got him exactly what he wanted. And also with the Four of Cups here, we have Kama, Parvati, and Shiva. And Kama is a deity of desire. And he was partnering with Parvati, trying to get Shiva out of his meditative state. And because he was disturbed in his meditation, the divine linga, Shiva linga, appeared. So, but at the same time, he kept his stance, he kept his meditative state, and the power of his desire could not overwhelm awareness, consciousness. So there's this higher purpose, there's this maybe even hidden purpose. There's a more it's like a self-awareness, right? It's inner wisdom. That's also confirmed here with the Hermit, and there's also the Four of Cups twice, right? So there's more than meets the eye. There's more to the situation. There's a lot of hidden potential, and something needs to be studied and revised. This is what is happening this month for you. And then the wheel, we have, of course, here the wheel of karma, and it's represented by the Kala chakra, the wheel of time, fate, fortune, and destiny. I think that you will have this sudden realization about your mission, and it will jolt you into action. It will break you from this more like revisions, like looking towards the past, looking to into the details, into the humble little things, and working on them. And then you will be jolted into action, into doing something. And I think that that will come from this sense of responsibility to a collective. It might be a family. I really feel like this is something about your family. I think you'll be jolted into action, into doing something that will serve a higher purpose, and it will leave a legacy for your family. But while leaving a legacy for your family, you will also leave a legacy for everyone, right? Um, yeah. So in the Chariot card, um, we have the keyword Partha Sarati, and this is representing Krishna serving as the Sarati or charioteer to Arjuna. And so he's driving the chariot while Arjuna fights. And this is a symbol of achievement, of doing something significant, and accepting your own responsibility and karmic mission, and also being impeccable about it, being a role model. It's also really reinforced by the Emperor here, like being an example, being a father figure. I really feel like this is a masculine energy. If you are dealing with someone who is going through this, it might also be the case that this is important to support whatever this person is doing, because I really think that they're doing it for the others, for others, for a collective. It's a way of service, right? And it's something that will bring a lot of abundance to a group of people and to many people. Has a potential, like a very salvific potential, like even restoring some and righting some wrongs, maybe even, because the wheel is also has a sort of justice. There's a sort of balance that comes from the wheels turning, right? Yeah. So what I also think is that in July, bleeding into July, you will still feel like you have to keep up the good work, to kind of maintain a certain position, to be strong in your position. I don't think that it will come at a cost. I think it will actually feel nice, although you are going to deal with some fluctuations. I actually feel like you will enjoy it somehow, because you will see things coming into fruition. It's not like you're going to see spectacular, bombastic, results all of a sudden. I don't see that, but I see consistency, and this is very coherent with Taurus energy, to me at least. It's something that is very induces a lot of peace and calms the nervous system, right? It's something that it's like a routine. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, Although you will have some challenges, although there are days that are better than others, there is the potential for some challenging confrontations, but I don't think that they will ever break this character if you choose to take up the responsibility and to reap the rewards of your success, but also be mindful of the humble steps that you have to take towards it, the humble things you have to do, like washing the dishes or dressing your child, or being gentle with apparently insignificant life forms, or you know so I do think that you will see results, you will be motivated by them, and just keep up the good work. Yeah, I would say keep up the good work, because in the end of the month you will be jolted into action. You will feel a little bit more fiery, And then you will have the energy to keep looking up, keep looking towards the light, and living more during the day. Doing things during the day is very important. Using the light of the sun in your favor. Yeah. Interesting. So, it's very sensuous reading also. I feel like the way you treat materials in your life, the things you touch, like the things in your home, if you're an artist or if you're doing things with your hands, um, whatever you touch, whatever is the medium of your expression, or whatever you choose to focus on, will create a legacy. And it's very important that you have this day-to-day experience that kind of builds up. It's like a compounding effort. Yeah. Great achievements for you, Taurus. This month and in the coming months, I feel. This is kind of an ongoing process. Just keep going, keep working hard, and it's going to bring you so much. And also it's going to increase your reputation, and people are going to admire you and to value you because you are leaving something behind. You are doing the good work, right? For others to enjoy, like planting trees for your grandchildren, right? Beautiful reading, very inspiring, very beautiful. Thank you so much for this, Taurus. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you can get some more of my videos on your feed. Leave me a comment, and yeah, I hope to see you very soon. Bye.